Our Milky Way galaxy is filled with millions of stars and planets. Amongst those, the marvelous planet Earth is the only living and breathing planet. But have you ever wondered what made it different than all the other planets scattered around the galaxy? Today, we witness the journey of evolution of this blue planet we call home. Almost 5 billion years ago, the Sun was a newborn star surrounded by dust. Through time, gravity has pulled this dust into tiny clumps of rocks. Over millions of years, the gravity works, pulling the rocks and dust together to form the planets. One of almost 100 planets circling the Sun is our planet Earth. Earlier,
This version
4.5 billion years ago, was a hot,
Commercial
molten mass
exhibition of the
with
film
intense
is
volcanic
prohibited.
activity. With temperature of over 1,000 degrees Celsius, this newborn planet is an endless ocean of lava. But our planet is not alone. There is another drifting young planet in the wake of its orbit, planet Theia. Smaller than Earth, about the size of Mars. This young planet collided with Earth with the speed of 16 kilometers per second. The impact distorted both planets. Trillions of tons of debris blast out into space. Gravity turned the debris and rubble into a ring for thousands of years. The hot dust and rock that circles the Earth from this ring formed a ball of over 3,000 kilometers. This is our moon. It's much closer to Earth than the Moon today, just 22,500 kilometers away instead of 384,400 kilometers. Earth is spinning so fast that an entire day lasts only 6 hours. Through millions of years, Earth is cooling slowly and strafed by the space debris, the leftover from the formation of our solar system. About 3.9 billion years ago, Earth was attacked by a hail of meteors filled with water molecules.
This version is for preview only. Commercial exhibition of the
They
film is
bombard the Earth
prohibited.
for over 20 million years, making pools of water on the surface of Earth. Though the core of Earth remained molten, the surface cooled and solidified, forming a thin crust covered by water. But Earth is not yet stable to support life. The rotation of Earth is still too fast, resulting in faster wind speed. The proximity of Moon overwhelms the planet with gravitational force, creating huge tides across the surface of the planet. Over time, molten rock bursts through the Earth's crust and rises up through the ocean. The lava cools, forming tiny volcanic islands scattered across the planet. These islands would join together and form the first continents. With water and land, Earth might look like the planet we know, but the temperature is scorching hot and the atmosphere is still toxic. Earth has endured massive collisions of meteors since its birth. They provided the water we have today. But about 3.8 billion years ago, some things disturbed the orbits of these meteorites, making them violently hurl towards Earth. When they hit the bottom of the oceans, they release carbon, minerals, and primitive proteins made of amino acids. Thousands of feet below the waves at the bottom of the ocean, it's dark and temperatures is freezing. But the emergence of these underwater chimneys spewing hot liquid are unexpected developments, releasing a potent mixture back out into the ocean. Combined with the minerals and chemicals from the meteorites, the seawater becomes a chemical soup, an elixir of life. The water was now full of the single-celled bacteria, the earliest forms of life on Earth. The only dominant life form for another hundreds of millions of years. The earliest evidence of life was found 3.5 billion years ago. In the shallow seabed, these rocks-like mound are colonies of living bacteria, stromatolite. They turn sunlight into food, filling the ocean with oxygen as a byproduct. Above the water, this oxygen is transforming the atmosphere. For the next 2 billion years, oxygen levels continue to rise. The planet has slowed its spins, making a day last for at least 16 hours. Beneath the Earth's crust, the core is hot. It generates movements, breaking the crust into vast plates.
This version is for preview only. Commercial exhibition
Over
of the
400
film
millions
is
of
prohibited.
years, this force rearranged these islands, creating a vast new supercontinent called Rodinia. 750 million years ago, intense geological activities spawn a mass of volcanoes splitting the great supercontinent. These volcanoes release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The rocks exposed during the geological upheaval starts absorbing the carbon dioxide. With not enough carbon dioxide to trap sun's heat in the atmosphere, the temperature dropped to -50 degrees. A vast expanse of land became enveloped in an expansive and formidable blanket of ice. Its once open terrain now concealed beneath the weight of substantial frozen layers. The longest and coldest ice age ever covers the planet, with sheet of ice up to 10,000 feet thick. "540 million years ago, the longest ice age finally ended. The ice planet started to thaw, and oceans were now full of oxygen. The primitive bacteria have evolved. There are plants scattered on the sea floor, and a new generation of complex multicelled organisms called Relaxia. The abundance of oxygen levels allowed the creatures to grow larger and develop bony skeletons. Life in the ocean's diverse, from microscopic bacteria to monsters. But they still can't survive the radiation on the planet's surface outside the water. 460 million years ago, the plates moved again, creating a new continent, Gondwana. The atmosphere also goes through changes. Oxygen mixed with the sun's radiation, converted into a new gas called ozone. This layer gets thicker, making a blanket around the planet, and absorbs all the sun's lethal radiation, helping life to survive outside the oceans. The land has abundance of insects and plant life now, but this beautiful era didn't last long. The world plunges into a mass extinction. The Permian-Triassic extinction. The entire landscape erupts with volcanoes, spewing lava over the lush paradise. The atmosphere is filled with sulfuric acid and methane, wiping off the world life on land, and even in water. 200 million years ago, the Earth is back to the almost lifeless planet. But the land has been transformed. There is one supercontinent, Pangaea, that stretches from pole to pole. New species evolved from the reptiles that survived the Permian extinction. The dinosaurs have repopulated the Earth.
This version is for preview only.
For the next 35
Commercial
million
exhibition
years,
of
the
the film is
geological activity
prohibited.
kept reshaping the land, making the planet restless. The dinosaurs ruled the planet for 165 million years. There was no threat to challenge their dominance until a large asteroid headed towards Earth. It was bigger than Mount Everest and traveling over 60,000 kilometers an hour straight towards Earth. In a split second, everything was destroyed. The force of the strike, unleashing energy equal to 1 million nuclear weapons, annihilating everything in its wake. Molten rock and dust engulfed the entire planet, heating the Earth's surface to over 300 degrees Celsius. The impact smoke and ash block out the sun's rays long enough to kill all the vegetation and starving the animals to death. 165 million years' reign of dinosaurs have come to an end. When the planet regained its colors, it looked very close to today's era. The sky was bright again, and the land was full of vegetation. The oceans were calmer. The atmosphere was much like today, with temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and day that lasts just under 24 hours. In the new world, our ancestors were evolving. Modern world was just a few million years away. The Earth's plates were on the move again. A new mountain range was formed. In the wide span of 2,500 kilometer stretch. The Himalayas, lush wide forests turned into dry lands. The new hotter climate forced habitats to migrate further in search for food. This step turned very important in the evolution of humans. Our ancestors, Homo erectus, traveled further and further in search for new paradise. They constantly surveyed new lands to migrate. With their evolving skills, they developed tools to hunt and survive.
This version is for preview
For
only.
protection from wild
Commercial
animals, they
exhibition
developed
of the
shelter
film is
and conquered
prohibited.
fire. Learning how to control fire gave them massive advantage amongst other species. But Earth was not done yet. There was another ice age on the cusp of horizon. Relics of this ice age, massive mammoths, are still found buried under sheets of old ice layers. Although this ice age wasn't as long as the previous one, it almost killed most of the life on Earth. Until now, humans have learned how to survive. They sheltered in caves and survived to pass this cold era. After 4.5 billion years of catastrophic events, with sheer perseverance, life triumphed on the planet. From the air we breathe to the water we drink, we are part of this phenomenal process of evolution. It's not just the journey of our planet, it's our journey as a part of the species who endured and advanced against all odds on this marvelous planet, Earth.